Hi, I'm Holly Andrews, certified integrative nutrition health coach and executive wellness coach. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the kitchen. Today, I want to talk to you about back to school. If you're anything like our family, it is almost time for school to start. My kids go back this Thursday. By the time you watch this video, they'll already be back in school. I know friends of ours went back to school last week, and then I have other friends whose kids don't go back for 2 to 3 more weeks from the time of this recording. But it is August. It is that time of year. Back to school is definitely on the brain. If you're like me, you're starting to think about back to school breakfasts, back to school lunches. What do I pack? Getting back into that routine. So I'm going to talk to you today about healthy breakfast options that are quick and easy and healthy lunch options that are quick and easy to put together, and share with you some of the staples that I keep in the pantry and the refrigerator to make kind of on-the-go mix and match breakfasts and lunches that I know I will have stuff on hand and that are quick and easy to throw together, that are going to keep my kids fueled for the day, and that won't cause me stress. So before I get into what I keep on hand, I do want to say that you know your kids. You know their preferences. You know what they're going to eat. Generally speaking, we all know as parents that kids' preferences can change day to day, minute by minute. One morning they're going to eat scrambled eggs and maybe Canadian bacon, and the next minute they're going to say, ooh, yuck, I don't want that anymore. But if you keep a variety of things on hand, it's really easy then to pivot from one thing to the next and not worry about, well, they were eating scrambled eggs and Canadian bacon yesterday, now what do I do? So you know your kids' preferences. So just because I'm going to share my staples that I have on hand with you doesn't necessarily mean that your staples are going to look exactly the same. Modify to adjust to your kids' needs and preferences. And of course, if there's dietary needs, modify for those as well. If you can't do nut butters, maybe seed butters are an option. If you can't do dairy, then those nut or oat milks might be an option for you. Also, when you're thinking about healthy breakfasts and healthy lunches, you want to really think and consider what makes a balanced meal, because you want to make sure that for those breakfasts, your kids are fueled for the day. I know my kids are going to be eating breakfast around 7 a.m. They don't get lunch this year until about 12:30 p.m. That's a really long gap. So I want to make sure that whatever I'm feeding them for breakfast is going to give them that balanced breakfast that is going to help keep their blood sugar levels stable throughout the morning so they can make it to lunchtime without a crash. I don't want to give them something that is going to spike their blood sugar levels really quickly, and then by 9 a.m., 10 a.m., they're already crashing, they're already starving, and it's 2.5 more hours until they can eat. So those are the things that I'm thinking about. So those things look like, I want to make sure that the breakfasts are protein heavy. I want to make sure they're getting a lot of good protein, whether that's meat, eggs, protein powder, some other form of protein, whatever that looks like. I want to make sure that they're getting a really good source of protein. I also want to make sure that they're getting complex carbs. This can look like sourdough bread. This can look like rolled oats. I really want to stay away from anything like a cereal or an instant oatmeal. They are heavily processed, and those are going to be the things that are going to, your kids' metabolism, they're going to metabolize them very quickly. They're going to spike their blood sugar, and then they're going to crash. So definitely look for things like rolled oats or steel cut oats instead of that instant oatmeal. That might mean that you need to prepare the overnight oats the night before rather than pop an instant oatmeal in the microwave in the morning. But your kids are going to be so much better off with those complex carbs that are going to take a long time to digest than something that's already heavily processed and that their metabolism is going to go through really quickly in the morning so that they're starving by the time they actually get to lunch. And then in addition to that protein and complex carbs, you want to think about healthy fats to go with that. So that could look like avocado on avocado toast, or maybe some nut butters. We'll talk about what that needs to look like. Butter toast with grass-fed butter, if you can get it, would be a really great option for a healthy fat. Your kids, we all need those healthy fats for metabolism, for absorbing nutrients and a whole host of reasons. So when you're looking at what is a healthy breakfast, and this goes for healthy lunches as well, what does that look like? Am I giving them good sources of protein? Are they getting those complex carbs? And are they getting healthy fats? So those are the things that we want to look for. So now I'm going to tell you about the things that I keep in my pantry and my fridge. I keep on hand for healthy breakfast options. And these are my go-tos that we will absolutely use throughout the school year for healthy breakfasts. All right, so let's talk healthy pantry staples that I keep on hand at all times. Obviously, bread is a big thing for breakfast. I tend to keep two kinds of bread on hand. One is an organic whole grain bread like Dave's Killer. This is a great bread option. I actually just pulled this one out of the freezer to show you. If you can get them on sale, they do freeze really, really well. So that would be a great investment to make. I like this brand because it is organic, and as far as studies have shown, it is pesticide free, which is very important to me. So I like that brand. I'm sure that there are others, but if you can get a true whole grain or whole grain and seed bread, those would be great options if your kids will eat the seed and nut breads. Mine don't, but again, back to kid preference. You know what your kid will and won't eat. But a brand like Dave's Killer would be wonderful to keep on hand. Another thing that I will keep on hand is sourdough from the farmer's market. I have a lady that I go to at the farmer's market, and she makes amazing sourdough, and it is simple ingredients. I know what they are. It's not full of preservatives and fillers like the grocery store brands tend to have for the sourdough. So I go to my farmer's market lady and get her sourdough bread. Sourdough is wonderful because it is actually very easy on the digestion. Plus it is full of great probiotics for you. So double whammy there as far as I'm concerned. And I love that sourdough. So those are two breads that I tend to keep on hand. And I will also keep the gluten-free bread on hand for my daughter. Rolled oats. I keep these rolled oats, this 1 degree organic foods. I keep their rolled oats on hand to make things like overnight oats. These are certified gluten-free, which again for celiac disease is incredibly important. Oats have to be certified gluten-free in order for a celiac to eat them safely. And these are also labeled glyphosate-free. So I know there's no pesticides there, which oats tend to be heavy on the pesticides. So that's something to watch out for when you're buying oats. Again, so I prefer this 1 degree food brand because I know I can trust it. So rolled oats, keep them on hand to make those overnight oats. Again, so much better for your kiddos than instant oatmeal that is going to go through their system like that, and they're going to get hungry and hangry well before lunchtime. Another thing I keep on hand is protein powder. I use this in smoothies. I use this in overnight oats. I use this in yogurt bowls just to make sure that they are getting good sources of protein and enough protein to help keep them going throughout the morning. Another thing that I love to keep in the pantry is this grain-free granola. I love this because gluten-free, but it also has all kinds of good seeds in it that have omega-3 fatty acids, and I don't have to worry about so much the heavy carbs and sugar of a normal granola. So I will keep this on hand to just sprinkle on top a little bit of a yogurt bowl in the morning with my kids. I also keep chia seeds in the pantry for things like smoothies and yogurt bowls. Again, great source of omega-3 fatty acids, those healthy fats that we talked about. This is a great source of healthy fat to blend into overnight oats, smoothies, yogurt bowls, you name it, your kids. And you can also make chia pudding as well. But if you blend it into the smoothies and overnight oats, your kids probably don't even know that they're in there. But chia seeds, great source of healthy fats to keep on hand. And I think that's all my pantry staples. I will mention avocados. I don't happen to have any on hand right now, but something that I also grabbed from the farmer's market this weekend was fresh guac. I have a salsa lady who also makes guac. And so I just grabbed some of this from her. It's already done for me. I don't have to peel and pit and cut up an avocado. I just can grab this. So this is a fridge staple. So we'll move on to fridge staples here and talk about what I keep in my fridge. All right, so fridge staples for a healthy breakfast. Obviously, fruit is a great thing. I love these organic berries. I happen to catch them on sale this week. So I've got 3 packages of these organic strawberries and 2 packages of the organic blueberries. Obviously, you can do bananas, but you might want to, if you have more than one kiddo, you might want to split that banana in half. You can give them half a banana just because of the high kind of sugar content there in the bananas. Half a banana is plenty to give them. They don't really need a whole banana. So again, if you can split them, that's a great option. But fresh fruit for breakfast, again, smoothies, yogurt bowls, fruit, the fresh fruit in and of themselves are really great options to have on hand for breakfast. Obviously, breakfast eggs are a great staple to have. I buy these from a local farm. They're pasture raised. If you're buying yours from the grocery store, make sure that you're looking for pasture raised eggs, not just organic, because they can still come from a chicken farm where they're cooped up and not treated necessarily well, but be considered organic because they're given organic feed. So if you're looking for eggs, try to get the pasture-raised ones that you know that the chickens are free range, they've got plenty to eat out in the wild normally, and you're getting those really great sources of nutrients from the eggs. And it really does make a difference in terms of the nutrients that you're getting in those different types of eggs. And then obviously another fridge staple is some form of milk product. We use this A2 milk that comes from Jersey cows. They only have the A2 protein. It shows you on the back here. Most milk comes from these cows that carry the A1 and A2 protein. This brand has only A2 protein cows. Why the difference? The A2 protein is much easier on digestion. So we switched to this earlier this year when my son was having some of his GI issues, and it seems to have gone very well for him. But that's our dairy milk that we choose to buy. But whatever dairy milk you want to have on hand, fine by me. You know what you need. And then I also keep this organic almond milk on hand. I like this organic almond milk because there's only 3 ingredients in it instead of now that I'm looking, it's just water, almonds, and sea salt. So I like this brand. I like the 3 ingredients because it doesn't have a lot of the preservatives or emulsifiers that you find in other types of almond milk, and it tastes just the same. It's just as good. So if you can catch that one on sale, it would be a great option to have in your fridge. So let's talk about the things that I can throw together with these kind of staples on hand just to give you some ideas. But if you want the full rundown, the link in the description below, and hit my blog. I've got 2 articles on there for you, one to cover breakfast ideas and then one to cover lunch ideas. So I'm going to run you through a few of the kind of mix and match things that you can make with having these few pantry staples on hand for a healthy breakfast with your kiddos.